Hello everyone, my name is Waleed Ahmed. I'm a staff engineer at Introspect, and today in this video I will be demonstrating the use of the SV3 MIPI generator and demonstrating some of the capabilities that it has by doing some image generation, by showing you guys some image generation examples and doing captures using the SV3 analyzer. So to start off, we'll open up a instance of the Pine Tree software. And the first step is to select the form factor, which in this case is the SV3 D-PHY generator. So we will be using the MIPI D-PHY protocol in this case. And we create a new test. And for the first test, I will be keeping all the standard default settings. So I won't be making many changes. The default setting is a CSI, an image that is sent using the CSI protocol. And the MIPI generator has the pattern, which is a CSI image pattern it's going to send. And in this component list, you have all the components that are being used. In this case, the CSI image pattern is a simply Introspect logo. So again, all the settings are default. We simply hit run. And what this is going to do is going to connect to the generator, and it's going to send the image. So that's it. The image is sent. It took about 3 seconds. Now we'll open up a new instance of the Pine Tree software and to set up the analyzer, so the RX side and how to receive the image. So we had it set to generator before, and I have the analyzer connected to my computer. I will simply create a new test again. Make this a bit bigger. And again, default settings are in place. We have to make sure everything on the RX matches the TX. So default settings are set up correctly. And the only component we need to do the capture is the CSI data capture component. Once we drag that, the procedure is automatically updated. And then we simply hit run. And then here, the capture is complete. The results are displayed on the left. Simply open the results panel. Here we have information about the HS bursts and all the timing information, the bit information, CSI packets information. All the packet data is available here. Information about the LP states, LP events. You can look at it in detail on all the various LP states. And the frame is the actual image that was sent. Here we sent the Introspect logo, and that was received. So the frame information is here as well. So this is just in a nutshell to demonstrate how image generation and capture works using the Introspect software with the SV3. And now we will change a little bit in the second test a few of the default settings. So let's say we wanted to send an image using a DSI protocol. So I will go into the MIPI protocol option, change the protocol to DSI. And then the next step would be to actually go into this panel here and select the components that are associated with this protocol. So let's say we want to send an image again. We will drag and drop this component, which is the DSI video image pattern component. And this allows you to send both videos and images, but I will just be selecting an image. And so the default image is the Introspect logo. But let's say we wanted to send 2 images, and that is something also that the generator can do. You can just simply select another image here on my list, which is an image of the SV7. So we can send 2 images this time. And we also have to update the generator settings. The default pattern is a CSI image pattern, but like we said, we want to send a DSI DSI pattern. So we are selecting this DSI video image pattern, and then the settings that we have here will then be transferred. So we have 2 images selected here, and that's what's going to be transferred over here. So that's the pattern that's going to be sent, and we do the same thing. And actually, we can, let's say, change the default data rate quickly. So if we want to send it at 2500, We do that. Start the image transfer. We can make the screen a bit smaller. And there you go. Take about 8 seconds. And then we go back to the analog, the analyzer screen. And now we capture the image. So this time, again, we have to make sure that the settings on the RX are the same. So we selected DSI, so we change it to DSI. We change the data rate as well to match the TX, so we make this 2500. And simply now we have to use the correct components, so we have to do a DSI capture now instead of CSI capture. So as soon as you drag and drop the component, the procedure is updated. We have to make a small change and make sure that we're not doing a CSI capture, we're doing a DSI capture. And the only change we also have to make here, since we're capturing 2 images, so we should account for that. So we changed the default trigger conditions. So the default trigger condition is vertical sync start. We also want to change the post trigger type, and we change that over here. And since we have 2 images, we can select 2 vertical sync starts. And that's all that needs to be changed. We hit run. Everything is set up correctly. It's receiving packets. And now the DSI image capture is complete. It shows up on the results panel. Again, all the information is here about the HS bursts. Now we have information about the DSI packets as well. Before it was CSI, if you recall, LP states, and the frames. So this time we sent 2 images. So we have the Introspect logo, and we also have an image of an SV7, which is sent. And then we have information about different lanes. All of this detailed information is available and accessible in the results panel. So that's another way of sending an image, a different protocol. We sent an image first using CSI, then using DSI, and this time we sent 2 images and we received them over here. So let's go back to the generator and try another test. Another change that we can make is if we want to have more control over the image, we can, let's say we want to change the width and height of the image. We can also send color patterns. So let's say this option here, which is a color bar pattern, which allows us, gives us a little more control. Let's say we wanted to modify a width. So this basically sends a pattern which has just different colors. And let's say we wanted to set this to 1920 over here. And we change the height to 720. So we can send this pattern. And another complexity and feature that we have is that we can also add and insert a D-PHY packet before we send this. So this capability is available through the pattern sequence option here. So we drag this and drop this. So if we want to send, what this pattern sequence component allows us to do is actually to send different types of patterns, multiple patterns. So let's say we want to send a D-PHY packet right before a D-PHY pattern. So we will drag and drop that component as well. And this is the default pattern here. And then it's going to send the number of payload bytes as 4096. And so, you can read the description here. It says the number of clock bytes to be transmitted, for example. And so now we want to send 2 patterns. We will send the color bar pattern, and then we will also send a D-PHY packet. And we can specify that by going into the pattern sequence option and selecting the D-PHY pattern, and then selecting the color bar pattern. So now we have 2 patterns here selected. and we add we just want these patterns to be going one time, so just one time. And everything else we can keep. Oh yes, we also have to update the pattern here again. So now we're sending a pattern sequence, so we're sending two patterns. So that's why this has to correspond to what we had over here. And we are ready to go now. I think everything is in place. And we simply hit run. And it should take a couple of seconds. That's done. Now we go back to the analyzer. And the analyzer is ready. I think we have the settings that we need. And so we simply hit run. And we see we can look at the capture that was done. And then we can look at this time the fact that, so again, there are a number of things to look out for. I just wanted to quickly go to the frames section to show that this time we sent a color bar pattern. So this is the image. We changed it to the Introspect logo to the color bar pattern. We also specified the height and the width of the image, and that's what we're seeing here. And we have information about the HS bursts available. And what I wanted to highlight here is we indicated we had picked out the a pattern, the D-PHY pattern, and we can actually see that over here by going through this list and trying to find it. So if you might recall that the number of bytes we sent was 4096, and then we can see this pattern over here right at the end. And these were the bit, this is the D-PHY packet that was basically sent. Right here, you can see it at the bottom. And there's actually a way we can try to change the trigger condition so that we capture it at the beginning. But I just wanted to go through the list here to indicate to you how we can kind of verify the pattern that was sent. So here is the D-PHY pattern, and the D-PHY packet, sorry. This is the DSI packet information that is available here as well, and the LP states and LP events. So, but I wanted to, in case, so here if we wanted to just kind of get this packet right at the top, we can kind of arm the capture so that we receive that first. So we can change the trigger conditions and the trigger settings here quickly. So we trigger, instead of a vertical sync start, we trigger on a burst. And then we go and we simply trigger on post trigger. Let's say we capture 50 bursts, for example. So in this case, before I was, in the first examples, I was sending the TX, running the TX first and then doing a capture. Right now, I've just restarted my generator manually. And so what I will try to do is arm the capture so that we can run the RX first with this modified trigger conditions. And the RX is going to wait for a burst. So I will run, so it's waiting for a trigger now, and I will go to the generator side and simply hit run again. So it's connecting again to the generator, and the trigger is waiting. It's transferring the pattern. It's received it, and so capture is complete. And now we can look at the results. And here you can see, right, because we armed the capture, we were able to get the D-PHY packet first, and that's the sequence that we had set up on the generator side. So now we can confirm that the D-PHY pattern is right, is being correctly received, and the rest of these packets are from the image, the color bar pattern. So this was a demonstration of the various capabilities of the SV3 generator and the various patterns that can be sent and the various image formats that can be sent using the generator. So this is just a quick tutorial on that, and I hope this was of benefit and use. Thank you.